Welcome to the deep dive. We unpack sources here to find those surprising facts, those insights that, help you get genuinely well informed. For this deep dive, we're tackling something I think, well, many of us know. That moment your brain just hits a wall, goes blank. Right when you need to think fast and, sound smart. Like someone asks a simple question, maybe, what do you do? And poof, the words you have, they just vanish.
Yeah, that's a common one. And we've got some really interesting material today from Power English,
But
Speak Smart, and Think Fast.
ah,
Our mission really is to pull out the practical stuff, the tools, the strategies in these excerpts that can help you think clearly, respond quicker, and sound confident, especially when you're feeling maybe nervous or just stuck.
no, I know that feeling. It's like you're suddenly on stage, spotlight's on, and your mind just, well, checks out. So today we're digging into why that happens and crucially how to fix it, right, with the actual steps from the source.
Mhm.
When you look at this material, what jumps out as the absolute core of why we freeze up?
What's really fascinating, I think, isn't just that we freeze, but the reason the source gives, it points squarely at something called internal translation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's this hidden drag. Your brain is basically working overtime, but you don't even realize it.
Internal translation. Okay.
Yeah. It hears English,
Yeah.
right? Then it flips it into your native language,
Right.
figures out the answer, then translates that back into English. By the time all that happens, I mean, the moment in the conversation, it's often just
Right.
gone. It's like
Yeah.
a mental traffic jam.
Wow. Okay. That paints a picture. It sounds like a really ingrained habit for, well, probably a lot of people listening. So, if that constant translating in our heads is the big hurdle, what's the direct fix? Does the source suggest a way to, I don't know, break that cycle?
It really pushes for a fundamental shift.
Mm.
The core idea is you have to start thinking directly in English, even when you're just by yourself. Even simple stuff. The material has this brilliant little trick: narrate your day in English
Mm.
internally.
Narrate my day. You mean like if I'm making breakfast, I'd sort of think to myself, okay, brushing my teeth now. Making coffee, feel a bit tired today. Just that kind of internal chatter.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds simple, maybe, but it's about building that habit, that neural pathway.
Mm.
You're basically training your brain to operate in English mode from the get-go.
Yes.
So it's ready, ready to skiff that translation step when you actually need to speak, making that internal voice multilingual, essentially.
Okay, that makes sense. Building the muscle. But all right, let's say you've started doing that. You're narrating your coffee making, but then you're in a real conversation and someone hits you with something unexpected, like, I don't know, what kind of movies do you like? And you still freeze up for a second. This is where the source gets really practical, right? It talks about these smart starter phrases. What are those? How do they help in that moment?
Ah, yes. These are great. Think of them like, well, like tools you carry around. They're designed specifically for that moment. They do two key things: buy you a few precious seconds to actually think.
Hmm.
And maybe more importantly, they make you sound natural and engaged, not like you're panicking or lost.
Oh, okay. So instead of just like dead air, awkward silence,
Exactly.
I could say something like, that's a good question. Or maybe, let me think for a second. Even just starting with, well, generally I like comedies. It's like hitting a pause button, but out loud.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
Right.
A verbal pause button.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the source actually suggests you should practice having your own list of these go-to phrases ready. Things like, it depends, or to be honest, maybe I'm not totally sure, but I think. Or even what I mean is the goal isn't perfection, right? It's just keeping the conversation flowing, keeping that ball rolling smoothly.
That totally makes sense. Keep the momentum going. It's less jarring than silence. But okay, what about actually, you know, training the brain itself to think faster? Not just buying time. Like, how do we get better at the actual processing speed? The source mentions some drills, almost like mental workouts.
Right. That's a really important question. How do you move from just knowing this stuff to actually doing it? building that speed. And yeah, the source offers some very practical drills. One is super simple. Pick a common topic, food, hobbies, the weather, whatever,
Yeah.
and then just talk about it out loud, nonstop, for like 30 seconds.
30 seconds nonstop.
Yeah. And the key thing here, the real insight, is don't stop. Even if you make mistakes, even if your grammar isn't perfect, just keep talking. The goal isn't accuracy in that drill. It's purely speed and flow, getting your brain used to producing English quickly.
Okay. Speed over perfection for that drill. And I think there was another one mentioned too, something about questions.
Yes, exactly. The Q&A drill, it's another great one. You basically just ask yourself simple questions like,
Mm-hmm.
what did I have for lunch yesterday? Or what's my favorite way to unwind? Maybe what's something new I want to learn? And then you answer fast. Again, the key is speed. Don't overthink it. Just get the answer out in English.
And how often should you do these?
The material really pushes for making it a daily habit. Integrate it. Do it in the shower, maybe while you're walking the dog or even driving. Turn those little moments of downtime into quick, active training sessions. It's about consistency.
These sound like really practical, actionable things people can do. Very tactical. But if we zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture. The source seems to emphasize that, yeah, thinking fast is good, but what really matters, the ultimate goal, is confidence. How does it suggest we build that, especially when we still feel like we're struggling sometimes?
That's such a crucial point. And the source is quite clear. Confidence doesn't magically appear when you speak perfectly. That's not how it works. Confidence actually grows from speaking consistently, from the act of doing it every day, mistakes and all. It comes from the effort, the real practice. It means, engaging with English in lots of different ways, not just waiting until you feel ready.
So it's kind of like, don't wait to be perfect, just start talking. Get the words out however they come out, even if it feels a bit messy at first.
Precisely that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The advice is wonderfully down to earth. Talk to yourself, seriously.
Hmm.
Talk to your pet if you have one. Talk in front of a mirror. Record voice notes on your phone just for yourself. Maybe join a casual language group online or in person. The point is just speak. Use the language. And the source makes this really powerful point. People honestly don't judge your grammar half as much as you think they do. They respond more to your message, your energy,
Yeah.
Your willingness to actually connect.
Wow. Okay. This whole deep dive, it really shows that getting better at this, thinking fast, speaking confidently, it isn't some magic trick. It's about rewiring habits, isn't it? So let's wrap this up for everyone listening. What does this all mean for you if you're looking to finally break through that freezing moment? Let's recap those power tips quickly. First, kick that internal translator out. Start thinking in English every day. Simple stuff counts. Second, get those smart starter phrases ready. Use them in conversations to buy yourself that crucial thinking time. Third, do the drills, those short, fast speaking drills. Practice them regularly to build up your speed and flow. Fourth, and this feels huge, focus on getting your message across, not on being grammatically perfect. Communication over perfection. And finally, build that real confidence just by using English every single day. Make it a part of your life.
Absolutely. This deep dive really highlights that fluency, true fluency, isn't just vocabulary lists. It's about retraining your brain, building those strong, consistent habits. So maybe here's something to think about. If the real goal is consistent communication, not flawless grammar, what's one small, maybe even imperfect speaking step you could commit to doing every single day, starting right now? What could you do to really start shifting from just thinking about speaking to actually simply speaking?